With my comic review. How's everybody doing out there? Uh, Back again as always, and today I got a big list for you guys. Got a big, um, but as always, I give a shout out, and today's shout out will go to none other than Tori GNR one. uh, Dan, my friend Dan, met through my friend Tyler. Deadpoolzilla. Became really good with this guy. Very good friends with him. He's always delivering good, delivered base reviews and various other things, topics that he does. He's another one of the community that is well recognized, and as always, the link will be in the description. Go there and check him out, as always. So, as I said, got a big list, and we're gonna kick it off with DC. So let's start this very much. Okay, so first title is none other than Aquaman #7. Jeff Johns, Ivan Reyes, The Secret of the Others. All right, don't mind the background. We were watching Jurassic Park, so um, this was a good story. We really get to see somebody in this that we've all been wanting to see. Maybe the new 52 version of a certain Aquaman villain that we know, and it was really good to see. As always, this is still trying to figure out who blew up, destroyed Atlantis. That's pretty much what this is about, and we're getting down to the nitty gritty of it. But there's other plot line intertwining into it, but it was really good. It was. This is probably, like I said, people have been asking me what's one of the best of the new 52 titles you like. I said it before. Aquaman has been great. This has been really good. I don't want to spoil who that villain is, but you see him in the beginning, and it was like, oh, it was magic. It was great. Um, but yeah, Aquaman 7, good stuff. All right, sorry about that. Next up, um, Batman: The Dark Knight #7. The final battle with Bane. That is a cool picture by David Finch. All right, so basically, it's Bruce going at it with the new 52 of Bane. And let's just say, since the Bane serum makes him even smarter now, Bruce is having a very hard time with Bane. Bane is pretty much kicking Bruce's ass through this entire fight, in a way. Uh, and it leaves. Also, we see what the Flash has been going through. He's trying to burn that venom out of his system. He's been running around the world several times to burn it out. Uh, but it all basically comes down to Bruce using his head against even a smarter Bane, which is just very scary to even think that if you thought Bane was smart now, then he's even more smarter now. And that's pretty much what this was. That's all. I know a lot of people have been like, I don't like this title, it should have never been rebooted and things like that. But it's David Finch is one of my favorites, and him and Paul Jenkins do a pretty good job co-plotting this together. Next up, Flash #7. To stop Captain Cold, a sacrifice must be made. Francis Manapul has been doing an excellent job on Flash. I have to say, very much. And it was a blast seeing the new Captain Cold. I really enjoyed the new Captain Cold with the new cold powers. All right, so something happens in there that kind of Flash causes, and it really messes him up a little bit because of the fact that if he taps into the Speed Force, devastation will happen. And in doing so, he causes something which I don't want to spoil. But we also get to see him deal with Captain Cold, as well as future of what's to come. We see some certain individuals in Africa that we get to see, and I don't want to spoil that, but all I can tell you, it's another villain from Flash's Rogues that will appear in issue number 9. Uh, but the ending of this issue actually shows that we see that they're going to introduce a new villain into the series. But yeah, what Flash does in this that causes some destruction is like, oh man, that's going to plague him for a while now. But yeah, Francis Menopause has been doing really good on this. Very good indeed. Flash number 7. Next up, Green Lantern New Guardians number 7. Invictus Unleashed. Yeah, you could say that with a mouthful. Invictus Unleashed, because this angel, which he describes what he is, it is shown the story of what Invictus is and who he really is after. He's after Larfleeze. Uh, Invictus pretty much takes the new Guardians to school on this. I'm talking serious beatdown by some of them. Even Saint Walker's powers are no match for Invictus. Um, it's all about Invictus in this book. They spotlight on this guy very much, and what's his purpose and what he wants to do and who he wants to do it against. You know what I'm saying? And it it doesn't really look good for Kyle and the gang at first, but we start to see something develop between some characters in this. Tony Bedard does a good job. We see some kind of relationship happening between a Sinestro Corps and a Blue Lantern, which is really interesting. But it was good, very much. That cover pretty much sums up a little bit of, this is not false advertising right here. That's kind of true what goes on in this book. But yeah, this was good. I'm really enjoying this Invictus dude. And what you all guys been waiting for. And Tyler, I'm talking to you because I know you've been waiting for this. And how did I feel about this book? Superman number 7. Hellspawn Rises. Yeah. The classic Wildcat villain has arrived on Earth. And we got to see a bit of it. If whoever's reading um whoever's reading oh my god. Whoever's reading the book with Martian Manhunter, I can't believe I'm forgetting the title, or Grifter. We get to see that a tidbit of Hellspawn. Basically, in this book, Hellspawn has been monitoring the Earth for a long time, and he goes on and on about it. So he's been monitoring everybody, and when he found out there's a Kryptonian on Earth, it was like, I have to get him on my side. What also we get to see in this is how Superman puts on his costume now, his suit. And I know my friend this VX Fedora kind of was like, he kind of threw the book down, and and kind of like he pulled off a suicide. But I didn't take it like that. I took it more as, this is the new 52. You also got to it always represents where he got this outfit from. It's kind of like nanotechnology in a way. You see it like like sliver on his, almost like the symbiote, like you can see it like coming onto him, which was kind of interesting. But it's all about Hellspawn basically wanting Clark on his side, and Clark is like, you know, he even asks like, how come you haven't dominated the Earth? Like, you have all this power and you're not doing anything about it. You can wipe out, all the other metahumans you can take on. Hellspawn even goes on to say the gods of this world have thinned since on other worlds. They were showing Wonder Woman, and even those so-called Guardians even tried to put an avatar on this world. Talking about Green Lantern. But yeah, it was fun. It was really fun to me. It was fun to me, as well as Clark trying to do double duties. It was fun. It's a continued story though. It's not over between Hellspawn and Superman, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Next up, Booyah! Teen Titans #7. To rescue Superboy, the Titans must fall. Scott Liddell and Brent Booth. Basically, the team takes it to nowhere to rescue Superboy. Nowhere decides that Superboy is he's casualty now. Okay, and Red Robin and the rest devise a plan to get into nowhere and get out, rescue, things like that. Kind of doesn't go all according to plan, but they do get Superboy. Kid Flash looks really good in his costume now that Static created for him. But also we see the real person behind Nowhere, who they got to battle. And let's just say the way they did it was like really cool. I really enjoyed that. But this is all coming up to a big like event that's going to happen not only in Teen Titans but also in Legion Lost, and it also coincides the coming of the new team, the Ravengers. But it was fun. It was fun. I've still been loving Teen Titans. I've been loving Wonder Girl, definitely. Cassie still has been doing really good. I love the fact that, anytime somebody says Wonder Girl, or she's like, don't call me that. She flips out about that. But yeah, it's good. All right, so that's all the DC I have for this week. We're gonna move on to Independent. I'm sorry I keep ducking down, guys. My books are down by my side. So we're gonna kick off with Dynamite, and we'll kick it off with Green Hornet #23. Boy, a decent standalone issue with Britt Reed Jr. and Mulan. Basically, Century City's federal deposit bank is being robbed, and the feds are brought in to deal with this. So the cops, one of the cops that kind of backs the Hornet up, is like, I don't understand why they've sent the feds in to do our job. So he asks Hornet to go in and check it out, and we see in there that there's this individual who is kind of like a armored super soldier in a way, but he's doing this for the reasons because he's paying the army, the military, back for what they did to him in a way. And that's pretty much it. However, it's at the end of the book that we get to see that what's to come, and let's just say it's not looking good, all looking good in the neighborhood for the Green Hornet. That's my bro, everybody. Everyone should... Next up, Voltron number 4. Oh my gosh. This has been really good. We get to learn a lot in this book, especially the main thing in this book, guys, and I'm just gonna say this because I don't want to spoil a lot. The main thing in this book is we find out who created Voltron in this. And without spoiling too much, it's not who you think. And we also get to see more of the origin of Zarkon. That's all I can say, guys. I'm sorry. I can't spoil that book too much. I cannot spoil that book too much. So that's all Dynamite. We move on to IDW. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 8. This is the Turtles. See that? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not Ninja Turtles. Fuck you, Bane. Okay? So, in the process, the Turtles are still dealing with the Mousers. Okay? Still dealing with the Mousers. Donatello and Master Splinter is unconscious, and the Turtles are being overwhelmed by the Mousers being controlled by Old Hub. Baxter Stockman is still dealing with that individual that from the classic series that we were talking about, which I don't want to spoil. And April and Casey are still befriending each other. And we also get to see April talk about why she been learning self-defense from Casey Jones. And she talks about how, how where she works intern at was robbed by ninjas, and so basically Casey takes April to go see the Turtles, and they pull off a classic from the series that just really had me laughing. When she sees them, she says, "I can't handle this," faints. And that was funny, just like in the classic series. But it was fun. This Turtles has still been doing very good, guys. Very good. Next up, Transformers: Robots in Disguise, number 3. That is a great cover with Wheeljack on the cover. All right, so Cybertron has really been bummed out. It's almost as if Cybertron is alive and it doesn't want the Autobots or anybody on there. Wheeljack is trying to find out why there have been these almost random explosions happening all over. And also he kind of gets the help from Starscream. However, the aerial bots, Silverwing and all those others, they don't trust Starscream. And when they do deprive, when Wheeljack does deprive what's going on, they're able to solve it. But it kind of leaves some of the Autobots, the flying Autobots, the aerial bots, kind of like, you know what, we can't deal if you gonna accept Starscream into the fold after everything he's done, we're out of here. And it kind of leaves a little bit of openness between that. But Starscream is basically saying that we need the Airbots are needed, and it was kind of leaves a little bit of openness between them. But it was good to see Starscream though. All right, so that's all the IDW I have. All the independents done. Now to Marvel. And the first book, guys, that I want to talk about is a book that I thought I'd pick back up because I stopped reading it after maybe issue 34, especially once John Cassaday and them finished and Whedon basically finished their run. But I was like, you know what? Let me pick it up, see where. Besides, I really enjoyed the writer. Astonishing XMen number 48. This is the new creative team between Marjorie Liu, who I'm actually a big fan of because I enjoyed her work on X-23. I thought she did a very good job. If I'm not mistaken, she is the only female writer at Marvel. And she tells the side of uh, a different side of the X-Men are back in New York City. However, we enter North Star and his lover basically moving into their new apartment in Hell's Kitchen, and we also get to see the reintroduction of Cecilia Reyes, who I've always been a fan of, talking with Gambit. Gambit has a place in the city as well, in the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and that's when pretty much everything starts going to hell after that. But it was fun. I must admit, it was really fun. Miss Liu does a really good job at, you know, bringing in all these characters from Cecilia Reyes, the Iceman, North Star, Warbird, Gambit, and Wolverine. I mean, Wolverine was just in town just for something else, but then they get attacked by these individuals, and like I said, all hell breaks loose. But she did a very good job. Very good indeed. But like always, I want to thank her personally for, bringing Cecilia Reyes back into the fold. That was good stuff right there. Astonishing X-Men number 48. Besides, I'm becoming more of a follower of the gold team than the blue team. All right, next up, Avengers number 42.1. Yes, another point one book. Brandon Peterson is the artwork on this. Of course, this is Bendis. Peterson's artwork is really good. This is all spotlighting on the Vision for all you Vision fans out there. Um, okay. This book takes place. It takes place a couple of. I say a couple of days before the first issue of Avengers, when they were dealing with Norman Osborn, just before Vision was brought back, and it shows a couple of pieces. It shows the scene from Avengers Disassembled, the famous story arc where She-Hulk ripped him apart and everything like that, and then it comes into now of him being himself, repairing himself, things like that. Tony talking about, if I wish you could tell me how that works and everything like that. And this is all about him just readjusting to the world now, this new world that he's woken up in. He starts to hear all the story about what his wife Wanda did and everything like that. He goes to Utopia to confront Magneto about her, and that was really good. I mean, that was funny. I mean, Magneto was like, "I'm the master of magnetism, android. I can," and he literally phases his hand into Magneto and grabs his heart, and he's like, "If you don't tell me where Wanda is, I'm gonna squeeze your heart," and he doesn't know. Uh, and at the end, basically, Cap talks to him like, take it from somebody who understands what you're going through. You can't just go off doing that and things like that. So it was actually interesting, very interesting indeed. But it was good to spotlight on the Vision. I love the scene between him and She-Hulk. She-Hulk was like, I'm sorry, Wanda had me under control. You know, if you want revenge, I'm not gonna fight you. And Vision's like, I don't want revenge. I'm not here to hurt you. And it was funny because just how big She-Hulk was compared to Vision was funny. That was so funny, and she had to hug him like that. It was just hilarious. But yeah, all right. Avengers versus X-Men. Yeah, here it is, dudes. The first issue. Issue number 0. Bendis, Aaron's, Frank Cho. All right, this was good. This was really good. I was very, very impressed at Bendis and Aaron's writing. So it tells two stories. The first story is Scarlet Witch's story, and basically she's in this DC. She stops an assassination ploy that Modoc was trying to do. He was trying to kill a Wakandan ambassador. So she comes in there to help. She gets a little bit over herself, and Ms. Marvel and Spider Woman come to help. One leads to another. Ms. Marvel's like, it's good to see you, Wanda. You should come back to the mansion. People would love to see you. And she's like, no, I don't know. I don't know if I should do it. Yada yada yada. But she goes. And when she's about to walk through the door, who do you think comes through the door first? I just showed you the first issue about it. Yeah, her husband, the Vision. And he is furious with her. He's like, you have no place here. All the things you've done, you've nearly wiped out an entire population with 3 words. Everything, and he's just hitting her like he's just constantly hitting her with gut shots over and over and over again until she's like, I'm sorry. I know. And he's just leave. And it was just like even the other Avengers like, dang man, like you think you're being a little too hard on her, you know, and she became so overwhelmed from the harsh words of Vision that she pretty much like lack of strength. She just passed out until Ms. Marvel had to fly her away. And you could see while Vision was walking away, he was crying. So that was good stuff right there. I was very impressed. Then we go to Hope Summers' story, and she's feeling that she's going out and fighting crime and stuff like that, and Cyclops is like, you can't be doing that because you're this and you're the messiah of the mutant race. And she's like, whatever, what's the Phoenix? I know it killed your wife Jean Grey and things like that. So right before she leaves, she hopes mutant power, guys, is she can, if you're in her vicinity, she can basically take your powers almost in a way. She siphons your abilities, and she optic blasts Cyclops and flies away with his rocket pack. So in between that, she's basically fighting the Serpent Society, which is cool. And after that, she basically Cyclops and Emma comes and tell her, okay, that's enough. You're coming back with us. And she basically confronts her. He's like, look, I know about the Phoenix. Let it come. I don't care. I'm ready for it. I'm not Jean Grey. Yada yada. And but she's like, I'm not Jean Grey. I'm not gonna touch that. Whatever happened to Jean died because she couldn't control the Phoenix. I'm ready. I can control that. And you see the Phoenix and Earth right there. So if this is an indication of what this story is gonna be about, I'm kind of now like, okay, maybe the words I said before are kind of swaying. But I do feel that these two ladies are going to play a big role in this event. That was good, though. Next up, Avenging Spider-Man number 5. Zeb Wells is on this along with Lee Nile Francis Yu. He's the artist. Um, um, this issue basically is Cap and Spidey teaming up. Always good to see. We find Cap. Peter finds out that Cap, when he was a kid, used to draw doodles, and when Steve sees it, he's like, "Wow, this takes me back," because they're gonna auction this off. The Daily Bugle found it in the archives, and they were gonna auction it off. And so now Peter basically just thinks that, okay, since Cap is a little bit, he has more in common with Cap. They were geeks, they were nerds, which is kind of funny. And you see Peter just going all over like, were you bullied when you were a kid and things like that. And while they're on an Avenger mission, which was funny. Um, and that's pretty much what this was. That's all it was. And the ending was really good. It showed that, Peter shows Cap, like, you don't give up on things that you used to do, like, draw and doodle and stuff. So he kind of sees that. And at the end, Cap's like, I might need your help, Peter, with something like, should I keep this guy like this? And he's like, lose the watch. This is 2012. People don't wear watches anymore. It's kind of funny. It was fun. It was really fun. This and use artwork is always good in me, but it was fun. Oops, sorry about that. Daredevil number 10. Daredevil versus the Mole Man. That's pretty much how to sum this up. Very good. Uh, because of the fact that Mole Man has stolen bodies from the cemetery, including his father, Daredevil's father. He goes down to investigate what Mole Man wants with it. And it finds out that Mole Man was looking for someone who paid him some respect before he came down to when he was still a doctor and everything like that. So he wanted to. It kind of came off kind of nasty in a way, because it was like, dude, this is necrophilia to the third power. Um, and that was really like. But other than that, this was really good. You know, Mr. Wade has still been doing a good job on Daredevil. I can see why a lot of comic sites have been saying this is probably one of the best reviewed books, because it really has been really good. Very good. All right, Mighty Thor. Mighty Thor number 12. Finally, Thor is back. Asgardia was attacked by the trolls and the Norn Queen Carniel. And the spell that the trolls and the Norns put on the people of Asgard to make them believe that Thor was gone, everything like that, except for Loki, was broken. Thor came back, kicked some butt, beat Urlik, and it was really good. Even his mom, Frigga, and all was like, our son is back. And it was fun. It was just amazing to see Thor. Even that little help from the Silver Surfer came there to help as well. But it was fun. So yeah, now for all those who have been saying like, how is Thor going to be in X-Men versus Avengers vs. X-Men, you get your answer here because yeah, he came back just in time. It's good stuff. It's good because first of all, Thor's back, you know, but I gotta admit, I have to admit, Fraction did a pretty decent job. Moon Knight, number 11, one more before the final issue. Yeah, the series is done after 12. Bendis and Malieve, Mark is trying to make right and try to get the Ultron head back from Madame Mask, the daughter of Count Nefaria. Uh, and try to bring justice, make sure that Echo's death was not in vain. Yes, Echo died, and that's pretty much this is all about, is Mark Moon Knight just trying to make right and make sure Echo's death was not in vain, which really plays up a little bit as well. And as well, of course, they also show his, you know, his personalities come out in this. But yeah, that's pretty much. All right. New Avengers number 23, Bendis Deodato. The only problem I have with this is that this should have came out before Avengers number 24, because it kind of, this should have happened first. The fact of the matter is, this book picks up, they show the first begins 1 month before, when Norman Osborn basically confronts Scar in the Savage Lands to ask him to join his team. Check this out, guys. Right when Norman Osborn left the Savage Lands, Scar called Captain America and told him, Captain, Norman Osborn came to visit me and wanted me to join his team. Give the word and I'll do whatever you want me to do. So Scar being on the Dark Avengers was a setup by Steve Rogers. Scar was the mole on that group, and we see right in the first, after that, we see just Scar beating the crap out of the rest of the Dark Avengers, which was really fun. And then he goes and saves Captain America from the clutches of, AIM. In the meantime, we get a slug-out battle between the New Avengers and the Dark Avengers. And let me just say, it was fun. This was just action-packed. We had, without spoiling too, we had Hawkeye's brother in this take on his sister-in-law, Mockingbird, his former sister-in-law, and she's just like, he doesn't know that she's now souped up on the Infinity Formula and the Super Soldier Serum. So when she's doing all these things, she's like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be able to do that. It was crazy. We got Ms. Marvel taking on Maria Beltinavo, of who was supposed to be like her counterpart. We had the Gorgon take on Iron Fist. Great battle between them. Iron Fist literally took the Gorgon to school. Let me repeat that. Danny took the Gorgon to school. And at first the Gorgon's like, move aside, Iron Fist. You're just an obstacle. My fight is with Logan, not you. And Danny's like, yep, dude, whatever. Like, have it your way. Okay, I have it your way, but look behind you, please. And who comes out and kicks the crap out of him? Daredevil. And that was fun. That was really fun. So yeah, this was an interesting twist into it. You know, that Scar was good all along. He was working for Cap all along. and then at the end it kind of goes into what Luke has been up to, where Luke went to his wife's old private investigation office to see maybe that's where she went, but she's not there. And that's the big cliffhanger. Like, where did Jessica Jones' cage go? But it was fun. All right, 2 more to go, guys. Hope you're still with me. Secret Avengers number 24. Rick Remender still doing a good job. So the Avengers are still in the secret city with all these adaptoids, and you see a very impromptu battle between Lady Deathstrike and Captain Britain. Uh, Beast has been shot, uh, and we see Black Widow and Valkyrie keeping this little boy safe that the only person known as the father wants. Uh, the adaptoids called John Hammond, the original Human Torch, grandfather. When he comes down, they're all bowing to him like grandfather, grandfather. It was really interesting. Um, but it's also wondering what happened to Eric O'Grady, Ant-Man. Did he die or is he still alive? The ending, I don't want to spoil. I try not to spoil too much, guys, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But yeah, McMarinder, you've still been doing very good, dude. Keep up the good work. Ultimate Comics, The Ultimates, number 8. Jonathan Hickman. To sum this up really quick, because I really was not too impressed by this issue. The Hulk goes on a rampage in Reed Richards' city called the City. Um, and basically, basically, Reed basically manipulates the Hulk in this. Is like, why are you fighting for them? Like, how many times has the government tried to kill you? Hulk says twice. And because basically Hulk wants Betty. He wants Betty. And Reed manipulates the hell out of him. That's pretty much all it is. And the outcome is that the president has sent nuclear missiles to Reed Richards' city. And thousands of them. Like, what the hell? Like, it's crazy. But that's pretty much the whole gist of it. And last but not least, Christoph Gage, XMen Legacy number 6. I mean, excuse me, 264. This man, this bomb. Yeah, Rogue is still kind of feeling torn between what she wants. Her and Cannonball are flying around and things like that. She ciphered Cannonball's abilities, Sam Guthrie's abilities, and she's saying to Sam, you should take a time to look around when you're up high like this. And even Sam was like, it's why do you always when you use people's powers, you make it better in a way. Like, you use it better. Like, he's like, I'm called Cannonball for a reason. There's no time to look at the scenery and slow down. But Rogue does it. She slows down, and he's like, oh God, like, come on, like. But it's basically the fact that Mimic comes back with Michael Pointer here, Weapon Omega, and he's pretty much become like an addict. If he's around mutants, he absorbs their powers, and it's almost like a drug to him. And it's up to the gang to figure out to stop his addiction in a way. But we realize that things go kind of from looks like we can help from good to bad, and I don't want to spoil too much. But yeah, this was good. It was still good. Christoph Gage really is doing a very good job on this book, and he really writes Rogue so well in this book. Rogue really shines in this book. It was also good to see Chamber. He was in this, so that was really good. But it was fun, nonetheless. Very fun. Okay, so the kid has finished, guys, his review. And once again, I'm clocking in at 50 minutes, as always. So to wrap this up pretty good, I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Tell me what you guys thought, as always. Uh, this is Mount Vernon Kid. Peace. I love. Stay tuned. Keep it real. I'll see you later.